Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Kuldeep, and I'm a Business Development Manager with Data Labs India Solutions. To brief you about Data Labs India, we are one of the leading digital transformation companies, and we help organizations achieve excellence in supply chain operations, logistics, strategy execution, enterprise performance management, and ERP solutions. Aligned with industry best practices and equipped with cutting edge technologies, our motto is to provide the organizations with the competitive advantage. Today's topic for the webinar is Warehouse Management System, key to achieve excellence in your warehouse operations. As we all know, warehousing has been around for years and has helped businesses with different storage needs. Today, a warehouse is not just a storage facility. It helps you optimize the entire supply chain system. In this webinar, we will take you through the importance of having a warehouse management system in place and how effectively it changes the way your warehouse operates and efficiently optimizes your supply chain as a whole. Our eminent speaker, Mr. Sheikh Abdul Khader, is the CEO of Data Labs India Solutions. His experience spans close to 3 decades in supply chain management, strategy execution, enterprise performance management, ERP, and business analytics. During his tenure, he has been responsible for achieving supply chain excellence for a number of Fortune 500 companies across the globe. His ability to achieve excellence in supply chain has been widely recognized, and he served as a vice president planning for the largest agri-food company in the Middle East. So before we get started, I would like to give you a heads up. If you have any questions during the presentation, please post them through the question pane. I will bring them up during the Q&A session towards the end of the webinar. Without further ado, let us welcome our presenter, Mr. Sheikh Abdul Khader. Over to you, Mr. Khader.
Thank you, Deep. Thank you very much for introduction. Can you give me sharing opportunity, please? You are able to see the screen? Can you confirm, please? Yeah, perfect. Okay, welcome to the webinar. Today we will be discussing about the warehouse management system and its importance for the warehouse operations. So how to achieve excellence in warehousing is very important because it's a very important part of the entire supply chain operations, and it plays a vital role in achieving customer service levels and also making and also the profitability. Okay, so let us have a quick navigation through what you will achieve and how you will achieve excellence in warehousing operations through warehouse management system implementation. Okay, so the agenda for today is to give a high-level overview about warehouse management system, and then we talk about WMS processes, which includes like a put away, picking, and replenishment, blah blah. So we give the overview of all the topics of warehouse management, and then we most importantly we cover up. I'll try to cover up the advanced topics, give a nice introduction about the Internet of Things and the artificial intelligence kind of activities which can optimize your warehouse operations. Okay, so let us start. First of all, the objective of warehouse management system, why it is required as such, is you need to achieve these 4 things to have proper warehouse management system in place. So first thing, what is the expectation is accuracy. So you need to have timely data, accurate orders, accurate inventory positions, So this is one of the key objective of warehouse management. Optimization of space. Space is a cost. Okay, space is a cost, and you have to achieve the optimization in utilizing the space. So that is one of the key objective. And then you need to make a proper and faster decisions in warehousing operations. So you may use algorithms, and you may use mobile applications, the real-time information. Okay, so you may use any other technology to make sure that the optimization decision making takes place. Okay, finally, you need to comply with your regulations and also customers. So whatever customers is expecting from you, you need to achieve that. Okay, perfect. So let us take a take a look at what are the key focus areas about the warehouse management system, or in general warehousing operations. First of all, apart from warehouse management system, the key focus areas are warehouse processes. So physical activities, what you do in the warehousing. The warehouse layout, the second one. Warehouse layout plays a key role in managing your warehouse operations effectively. Optimization, organization, and workforce. So you need to make sure that you have organized your labor force, so that, and equipment, so that you achieve your excellence in warehouse operations. Okay. So warehouse management system and warehouse systems and management. So here, so we have multiple things. So it includes warehouse management system, any other automation tools like IoT, like RFID, barcoding, any interfaces with any ERP and other things. All these things together plays a vital role from the information technology side. Okay, and warehousing technology. So you need to have a proper conveyors, shelving systems, vehicles, automations to make sure that the warehouse is properly operated. Controls. So you need to have strategies for your picking, put away, proper slotting, okay, and service level agreements and KPIs. I think this is the quick focus areas where we talk about what is the how to achieve your warehouse operations excellence. Okay. So now let us look at it. Why warehouse management system is required in the place. So before that, what I will tell you is there are different kind of warehouses for different applications. So you have like a distribution centers, the pure play manufacturing inbound warehouse. So where the automotive OEMs have the tier 1 suppliers send the material and store. Manufacturing outbound warehouse, where you have like maybe you have your distributors, your many other supply chain partners. So you store the material and then you supply to them. And then you have general purpose warehouses, irregular like spare parts kind of thing. So now for these different kind of warehouses, how does one kind of system suitable? That's very important. Okay. So now Gartner has classified this. You can find it in the Gartner literature. So these are the key areas where you talk about warehousing, extended warehousing management system capabilities. So just I will not take it. I will not read them out for you, because you will be looking at it as you go on. Okay. So these are the key areas where you need to have an extended. You need to have a features to call it as an extended warehouse management system. Okay. Now, why do we need warehouse management system? That is a one typical question every organization asks if they have already an ERP in place, enterprise resource system. Okay. So how do you decide that? I'll give you just a quick introduction about that. How do you make a decision that whether you need any warehouse management system or not? Okay. So as per the Gartner, again, they have classified into level 1 to level 5 categories of warehousing based on the different criteria. So basically, level 1 is a simple warehouse. It's a storeroom where you store the material, you take it out, like a simple spare part warehouse or a simple raw material warehouse or any other packaging material warehouse kind of thing. Level 2 is rudimentary locator. That means you keep the material in the locations, okay, in the maybe prefixed locations kind of activities. Then you try to take them from the physical location kind of. Physically, you just go there and pick it up. Advanced locator in the level 3 is system shows which material is stored where properly. Okay. In the level 4, it's an intelligent warehouse operation. So where you do a lot of things automatically. Okay. Like picking and put away kind of thing, you do majority of them automatically. Automated means it's completely automatic. It's like a robots, or you deploy any other automatic tools. So you do that. So in level 1 to level 5, one question is your current enterprise resource planning system is enough for you to manage it? How do you decide that? That is a very important part. Okay. So now, if your organization is sitting from level 1 or level 2, level 3, level 4, or level 5, you need to decide first of all. Then you see here picture. The ERP, it serves for level 1 and level 2 and level 3. Okay. For level 4 and level 5, it does not serve. Even though you have some features which look like very extended warehouse management system, but it does not serve. So that is where you have a problem. For example, you want to automate like sensors, or you want to automate the Internet of Things. Okay, so you want to deploy your mobile application kind of activities. So all these things can be taken through extended warehouse management system. I think that's the whole idea. So you need a warehouse management system if your organization is in level 4 or level 5. Okay. So now let us take what is the layout of your warehouse. What are the key processes? Okay. So before that, let us talk about the terminology. So you have pallet load. You have, if you take up this pallet load, then you have a tire or layer, you can call it, then case or carton. So inner pack, and then a piece or each. So these are the usual terminology we use it in the warehousing operations. Okay. So now if I take up, so this high level simplified view of warehouse operations, you see it here. So you do the receiving, then you have a pallet reserve. So you store majority of your inventory in pallets, and then this pallet can be directly shipped based on your order. That is the best and easiest way, and there is a more effective way to do warehousing operations. If you are breaking up this pallet into cartons and each, so you need to have each pick location, zone where you store the material in each pick, and then the moment you come up with each pick, so you need to have a sorting and then unitizing and then shipping. So this is the simplest process of your warehouse. Okay. Sometimes here in the cross docking, just you directly receive, you will not store anywhere. So directly we do the shipping. So that is a cross docking. We talk more about cross docking as we go on. Okay. Now another basic terminology, it's a 1 deep versus 2 deep storage or multiple deep storage. Okay. So here, so if you see the left side picture, so the top is 1 deep storage. So in any AL you go, you have accessible to one location, one storage location. Okay. Now in the bottom, if you see, there are 2 bins available for each position. Okay, each bin position. Okay. In the right side, if you see, how do you calculate the effective space? Is you just cut through the center of the aisle and then allocate this space to the corresponding lane. Okay. So if you have a multiple deep storage, like if you in the right side bottom, you see the 4 deep location. So sometimes you have similar kind of material or something, you can have a 4 deep location also, which is more effective if it is a faster moving items. Okay. Now here I have 2 pictures, if you are able to see it. In the left picture, you see you are receiving in one end and then shipping it from another end. So the major part, the dark color will be indicates the convenient position for you in the center. Okay. So the corners you reach, so you will be more or less like underutilized. So this will tell you where the fast moving items should be kept and where the slow moving items should be kept. In the right side, you are receiving and shipping from the same location. So the effect will be in the triangle position. That the dark black one will be the more convenient place to storage. Okay. And these two are sometimes, you need to, you cannot go in a traditional way of vertical racks. So you need to have a cross aisles and angle aisles, so that you can pick the materials conveniently, or you can store the materials conveniently. Okay. Slotting, that means you have different size of the material. So how you slot them properly? Okay, there are different ways to slot based on the material type and material, the way how can we slot. Okay, of course, if it is any fragile material, we need to take care. But otherwise, in a standard storage kind of units, so there are the different ways you can store it. Okay, so we need to fit them into few shelves, as much as possible. You should not scatter in the warehouse for multiple shelves, so that it will be complicated for you to picking the material. So in the another example here is, you store material which usually pick together. So that saves you a lot of time in picking process. And also in the left corner, you see, so how you keep your heavy materials and also most popular materials. You just keep most popular materials available upfront, and heavy items also, you keep it in a position so that you can pick them very easy. Okay. Now I'm talking to you about, now you have already a warehousing operation. How do you optimize it? Where do you start? Okay, that is very important operation. Usually what happens is, all warehouse managers, senior managers or general managers in the warehousing, they go always to the firefighting. They don't try to optimize the warehousing process. So they just take the material, take the operations as usual, and try to expedite as much as possible to achieve the goal, just to complete your shipping and complete your receiving positions, receiving orders, complete your shipments, deliver them on time, and then just get rid of them. That's it. Okay. But how do you improve warehouse processes? That's very important. So this picture shows you the warehouse process model. So you need to have, you need to analyze each step in the warehouse operations. Accordingly, you need to see what are the main activities you're doing and what are the conditions. So this way, classifying them will help you where to focus. Is it the put away is a problem? Where is it picking is a problem, or is it a location layout is a problem? So once you identify those, so it is a possibility that you optimize your warehouse operation. Otherwise, it's by default, with the current as it is warehouse operations, you're not going to optimize, because you have to set up these things like locations, the strategies properly, so that you optimize your warehouse operation. Okay, so to do that, I'll talk about something like order and item profiling. You must be doing it. If you are doing, that's great. So if you want to decide which item to be stored where, which item to be packed in what sizes, in which location, what should be your warehouse layout position. So what you need to do is, first of all, you need to do order and item profiling. Even if you are operating in a older warehouse, or if you're going to construct a new warehouse, you need to do this profiling. Okay. So what does that mean? So what is your order and item profiling? Order profiles means what kind of item families you are taking up, what are the order quantities, unit loads, lines per order. So cubic meter, what is the volumetric volume of the particular order. So you need to know exactly how much you are going to get for a period of time. Okay. And then, so order quantity profiles means, are you getting the orders in pallets, cases, eaches, or a mix of these two? So, and what is the size of quantities? So you need to have the profile for this. Lines per order. So if you are taking one order, whether it is a receiving order or it's a delivery order, so how many lines? Is it a one line or it's a multiple lines? How do you do that? Okay. So how do you do all these things in place? This will help you to, you come to a conclusion that this is the know-how you will build it. Okay. So before doing any optimization or any restructuring of your warehouse. So cube is used to describe the space in a warehouse. So volumetric, So you need to know how much amount of space is occupied by a unit load and what is it conditions. Item activity, that means what is the type of item. Okay. So these are all profiles you need to build it. So the moment you build the profile, so it will help you to make a decision. So what do you do that? When do you do that? Okay. So I have given a step-by-step approach how to do this item profiling. So you can have like a classify them into A, B, C, faster moving, probably 5%, 10% SKUs, average and slow movers. So you can do the classification like this. It's one of the classification. There could be many. Okay. So grouping them into a properly, it will help you to make the design properly. Okay. So just to conclude, order and item profiling. This has to be done. When you are designing the warehouse. But usually we do that, but we forget to optimize it. So it is not a complete. It's not complete because the orders items keep changing. So you need to really keep on doing order profiling at least once in a year. This is very, very important. Okay. If you don't do it, so there will be some kind of change in your profile, and then you will be following the same kind of priority what you are used to do, and then you lose a lot of space and resources. Okay. So if you do it properly, you will get a tremendous results. Now, if you have any questions at this, just you can pass through the notes. Okay, we can pick it up. But now I will talk about the warehouse management system processes quickly, so that it will give you a complete idea. Excuse me. Okay. So if you see this diagram, it will show you the core processes like receiving, the put away, the internal warehouse processes, the picking process, packing and delivery. So you have the RFID handheld devices, the computers, okay, RFID gantry, okay. So you have printers, of course, and in addition to that, you could have your barcoding scanners, any other equipment, okay. So the bottom is enablers. So you have a strategies in place, okay. So all this. So this is one simple visual picturization. So which we are going to talk about right now. Okay. So I just put it the key features into a tabular format. If you are looking for a particular warehouse management system, I think this one is very important for you. So these are all the key things which you must cover into your warehousing operations. So there are the top layer is basically covered by most of the warehouse management system. The bottom layer is very important. Any obsolete or any old warehouse management system, legacy systems will not have this. So the one important point here is there is something called process mining in the second row. Process mining means, so all your warehouse management processes, activities can be tracked, okay, can be registered with the timestamps. So what is the exact time you are going to receive at the gate, when you are putting up, when you are placing your material into your receiving bins, okay. Then how you are doing pickup, okay. What is the start position to end position, timestamps for each activity. So now this will help you to do the action replay at the high level. Then you know what is the bottleneck, where you are losing a lot of time, where is the inefficiency in the operations. You can find that out. So this process mining capability is very new. You will not find this in a multiple warehousing capabilities, warehouse management systems. The integrations. Usually the problem is you need to have, you cannot operate with only one system. You will, if it is a larger organization, there will be multiple softwares available. So you need to have them integration capabilities with multiple systems. And also there is something called supply chain control tower. So supply chain control tower also should be integrated so that you exactly have the visibility of your warehouse management system. Okay. And e-commerce is one area. Okay, e-commerce is one area. So where now you will have warehousing operations coming up for almost all kind of e-commerce companies. So you need to have the integration capabilities with all major e-commerce vendors, so that you don't have to do any manual work. So Ajay, this is a pictorial view how you do the inbound to outbound processes. Okay, so you do supplier purchase order, goods receipt note, goods receiving, scanning, okay, quality, put away. Then you have a picking process, the scanning, quality inspection, advanced shipment notification, shipment invoice, and deliver to the customers. Okay, so this is one pictorial view how you do that. Now I'll just take one by one, then try to help you to understand how the key WMS system processes. So we talk about how in this slide you talk about the documents what you are talking about. So it's a purchase order, so goods receipt note, you have a sales order here, and you have invoicing. So these are all typical documents you will have find in the warehouse management system. You should have them integrated with that. Okay. So what is the put away process? How do you do that from the system? So the moment you make a purchase receipt, goods receipt, it will go usually to the receiving location. From there, based on the put away strategy, so you will put them into appropriate locations. Okay, so accordingly you do all those put away activities. That can be done through the warehouse management system very easily. So if in this screenshot, I just show you a sample screenshot how you make a receiving of your particular materials. Okay, so you can also create purchase orders directly, or you can import it from any other system automatically. So I'll talk about put away strategies. So what is put away strategy? Means you have incoming materials, you need to store them properly in appropriate locations. What is the best way? So there is no single best way to put the materials in properly. The reason is, if you put materials improperly, the picking process will be complicated. Okay, so if you see in this slide, you have manual put away. That means you just put the materials based on your experience or your requirement or your whatever way you want to operate it manually. So fixed bin storage. So you allocate particular bin storage for each particular item. So that is very inefficient because the space will be wasted. Open storage. So it's in an open location, so you don't really manage through locations. Okay. So adding to the existing stock, next empty stock bin, near picking bin, unit type storage, bulk storage. So these are typical put away strategies. In a extended warehouse management, what happens is, so the most popular put away strategies are already available. So all what you need to do is you need to have a proper location bin system, and then just you use the system for recommending you the location where you want to keep it. So you should not think about the person who is doing the put away should not think too much about where to keep it. Just he should get the number and do it. That's how you do it. So this is like a mobile application. The moment the goods is received, it is in the receiving location. From there, you take a mobile application or a handheld device. You just take it, you generate a put away for this, you get the numbers, and then just enter the quantities. So as simple as that. It should be a very simple application through mobile. So there is no point in using papers, because again you need to write in the papers. Okay, you need to save them, you need to go back, and you need to enter into your system. So mobile application is mandatory for any warehouse management system, without which it's incomplete. So you can, if you have too many warehousing operations or too large ones, you can install the same solution into a handheld device. Okay, and that can be used. That can be also used for scanning and recording the data. Okay, now this mobile application is it's a common, so it can be installed in any Android or any iOS system. That can be used very seamlessly to do all the operations. Okay, at the same time, you have the capability. You should have capabilities to do the picking put away process in the computer also. Okay, now let me take the next process, which is picking. How do you do that picking process? Okay, so the picking process will be like you have the quantity, what is the location kind of thing. Then you do that picking process and deliver. So this is the whole shipment delivery process. So one of the key requirement for you is you have multiple sales orders or multiple delivery orders. So how do you process them together? So how do you process them together? So you cannot keep on doing one by one. So if you have multiple orders, like more than 50, 100 shipments to be delivered, so how do you do that? So your warehouse management system should be capable of handling all the bulk processing at the same time, so that there is something called wave picking for this. Okay, how do you do that? So this, your warehouse management system should have the capability to do the bulk processing and wave picking. Okay, this is like a transfer orders. For example, if you have a bin positions, if you have a different kind of packing units, okay, so how do you do that? So if you have like a pallet position, pallets directly receive and deliver, there is no problem. But if you are breaking it into cartons and unit loads and also the each picks, then you need to have transfer. It should done automatically. If the moment in a particular bin any of each pick location, if it is a stock is going down for a on a particular for a particular item, automatically the transfer order should be generated, so that you will do you will transfer the pallet into each storage. Okay, so that you keep it ready for the delivery. This is very, very important. Otherwise, you manually have to do it, and the whole time will be lost in the picking process. Okay, so for picking again, as similar to put away, picking is by far one of the most complicated and most time consuming and most inefficient order process in warehousing. Okay, so picking process there could be strategies like what is the first in first out, it could be last in first out, it could be fixed storage bin, it could be first expiry first out, okay, or it could be partial quantities and relevant quantities. Okay, so there could be a picking strategies. The idea here is to talk about this is you need to define these things into your warehouse management system, and the system should be able to give you appropriately. Okay, that means you are depending on single source of truth. You don't have to really think about it. You just follow what system is saying. Okay, now I'll talk about little about the layout. How do you do that layout kind of activity when you do the wave picking and other things? Okay, so your local information and global information should be combined to achieve better order picking process, and this also can be done through mobile applications. Okay, so here if you see a different picture show you different things, so you can have your location, your layouts in a different ways, and how you go and pick them also is very important. One important point here is, if you see, the best possible location is you take one round, the dispatcher take one round, okay, and then pick all the orders allocated to him. That is the best thing. So how do you do that? It's not easy. Okay, so for that there is something called wave picking. You see here, it could be similar or it could be different. You can use that equipment, then just move around and each path without any duplication. Then you just come out, your orders are picked. I think your warehouse management system should be able to support this. That is very, very important. It should give you by order, what are the locations, kind of thing. Okay. So mass processing of shipments can be done through system easily, warehouse management system. Now I will be talking about little about cross-docking. So the cross-docking is very important to increase the speed of delivery, and also it will be more accurate if you do it properly. Okay, so you will save a lot of cost if you do it properly, because you don't take the material and put into the location. You directly receive it and then just sort it and send it to the customer. Okay, so there are different ways different cross-docking options like manufacturing, distributor, transportation, retail, opportunity cross-docking. So there are different ways to do the cross-docking. Your warehouse management system should be able to do the cross-docking process very well. Okay, so this is one of the key important criteria you should look for any warehousing management system, to have the feature for cross-docking, so that and also it's a cross-docking strategy. So what is it you are trying to do it? So we can define the strategy for that also, and then the system should be able to recommend incoming and outgoing the shipments and shipments. How do you do the cross-docking? Okay. The important concept of advanced shipment notification is now prevailing. Everybody use this. Okay. And e-commerce businesses are really doing it very nicely, that when the moment you need the shipment, you receive the shipment, so you will get an advanced shipment notification. But how do you do in this business to business environment? Okay. So there are typical scenarios. How do you do? What are the benefits of advanced shipment notification? How do you get the value of supply chain enhanced with the advanced shipment notifications? Like this is a simple diagram which tell you about a supplier labels, supplier packs it, and then sends an advanced shipment notification immediately. Okay, buyer receives the advanced shipment notification and then plan them how to receive it, their capacity planning kind of activities. Then you have the buyer can manage the trucks. Okay, so he can send the transportation kind of activities if he's doing in his own. So then finally you receive it. So this is very simple and effective way to do advanced shipment notification. So there are different approaches. If you are doing a cross-docking, advanced shipment notification is much more value enabled, because you will be depending on advanced shipment notification to get ready for the cross-docking. Okay. So here, if you see this, an example. So PO is the purchase order is sent to suppliers, advanced shipment notification is sent to the distributor. Okay. Then goods is received to the outdoor, and then goods are shipped. So this is cross-docking way of doing advanced shipment notification. So there are two scenarios here again, the drop ship process and direct store delivery. So in both places, advanced shipment notification plays a major role. Okay, so it's similar to the cross-docking. Okay, so how do you do the settlement of payments, and how this advanced shipment notification can help you? Okay, so you if you see the step number 1 to 5, okay, so this is a sequence of way. Okay, so you have a purchase order to the supplier, and then you have an advanced shipment notification. Okay, so you receive the material. Okay, based on the advanced shipment notification, even the payment process also can be done. Okay, so that improves the payment process, and then supply is happy, and the customer is also happy with that. So, and it will be more accurate because you will be preparing the payment process very in advance before receiving it. So there is no there is a very high trust between vendor and the sender and the receiver. So this is very important part of advanced shipment notification. Okay. Now I'll just talk about one concept called electronic data interchange. Now, if you have, it is very difficult to expect that each organization will have the same kind of systems. There are different kind of systems. So for that, you need to have some kind of mechanism called electronic data interchange to speak the same language. Okay. Now let us say you don't have EDA. What happens? Classical. Okay. So buyer generates a purchase order. Okay. And send it through email, fax, WhatsApp, whatever you send it. So he receive it, and then he send the invoice or invoice through mails and something. Okay. Now this is one example. Okay. So there is a possibility of delay. So there is a possibility always. There is a possibility to miss it. Maybe there is something wrong with the emails or something, you may not receive it. Whatever. So what happens with EDA is, so you have a protocol. Okay. So the moment you generate a purchase order or send an invoice, automatically the data can be transferred to your system. That means here two systems are speaking here. Okay. So to enable this, there are some standards. Okay. So you have some standards in the bottom. So there you can follow any standards which is comfortable for your supply chain, and then you go for electronic data interchange. The orders will be transferred accurately, timely, and effectively. Yeah. Okay. Now comes to value-added services. So in each warehouse, value-added services bring flexibility to the supply chain. The more value-added services you do it, the more flexible your supply chain is. One example is, so if you are doing like a kitting, okay, properly, so your supply chain will be very efficient because you receive the materials, you prepare kits, and then you do the all kitting process and send the materials to the customer. Okay, so you do the labeling process, okay, displays, okay, and even sometimes you can do the simpler high level assembly points like packaging kind of activities also can be done. This value added services should be part of your warehouse management system. That's one of the most important thing. Okay. One important point is, as warehouse managers, we all do is we will be formally or informally doing some kind of plan. For example, I'm going to receive some incoming shipments tomorrow. So I will be doing some kind of plan. Okay. What is the, how many people required? What kind of, how many forklift trips I required? So what is the space required for me to allocate the incoming shipments? So these things, how do you do that? So it should be done manually, usually by experience. Okay. No matter how much experience you have, still you will run out of some options. Okay. So your warehouse management system should have the capacity planning part. So you can, based on the bill of resources, incoming shipment should be visible for next 15 days. Okay. If it is, I mean, it's not a mandatory to have a 15 days. It could be 2 days. It could be 15 days. So your warehouse management system should have the capability to do the capacity planning. Okay. The capacity and resources include the manpower, the space, the forklifts, okay, any other equipment you need it. Okay. So which this system should be able to support you to know in advance so that you prepare it and manage the activities peacefully. Okay. Warehouse layout, physical warehouse layout, we all do that. Okay. And we appreciate that. But how does that warehouse management system show your inventory in a proper way? So if you want to see in which location which product is available and particular product available in what are the locations, okay, so you should be able to search very easily with the warehouse layout. Okay, so that means your complete warehouse is in digital position. You just search all you will find where is them exactly located. So, or you give us a particular order, purchase order, okay, or as a delivery order and that particular items, it will be displayed to you which are the locations. So, so that the picking guy can go and pick it very easily. And also, if it is any expiry, near to expiry date, so you can show the layout very easily, so that you can go and move them to quarantine location. So there are different things we can do through digital view of your warehouse. So here an example, all your levels can be seen, and what is the product you have available, what is expiry, and what is the total inventory in the location, and also in that particular rack. So all these things, and also you can also look at the travel path also. So these are all the capabilities of a particular warehouse management system you need to have. This is not possible through legacy systems because the technology is a little older. So if you go with advanced technology, yes, you will find all of them. Yeah. So in warehousing operations, majorly used, the barcoding is very extensively used. Okay, and RFID is also used. Low energy Bluetooth operations also used. So to know the inventory automatically, to scan it, there is no way that the people who are the users, they can keep on entering the data. Okay, so it should be available automatically and it should be compatible. Now I talk about systems integration. If you have multiple systems, multiple locations, not necessarily your company. For example, you are managing a distribution center, and then you have the OEM or something, a supplier, who are sending you the material, and then in turn you are sending this material to your customers. So you should have proper integration so that the data flow automatically, and then you don't have to timely. Like the data should flow automatically and timely. That means every 10 minutes or every 1 minute or every 30 minutes, the data should keep on updating it so that you know what is happening in the system. Okay. So this is again the same thing what we are talking about. So I'll just try to skip because of the time constraints. So in this scenario, classical scenario, if you are managing a warehouse and then you have a vendor or a manufacturer who want to deliver from your warehouse based on the e-commerce orders. Okay, so your warehouse management, let us say in the warehouse operator is operating using the warehouse management system. It should be, the order should be automatically come from e-commerce portal, and then the moment you deliver, these things should be transferred automatically to the e-commerce portal so that it will be integrated properly. So this is one of the key requirements for modern warehousing because now e-commerce is a very important part of supply chain operations. Okay, so there are multiple scenarios. The e-commerce integration should be robust enough to do all those things. Yeah. Now, how do you, there are Internet of Things, how do you use them for effective warehouse operations to reduce speed, to increase speed and reduce time loss in the overall warehousing operations? I just put it here, summary. Okay, so there are multiple opportunities in the receiving process. Okay, so you can use optic sensors, cameras, and handheld devices and RFID to optimize it. So this is very important part of receiving. The put away process can be automated by drones, forklift, mini computers, handheld devices, internal processes. Okay, so that can be done through proper asset tracking, fire alarms kind of thing. Picking process can be automated by again drones. Delivery process also can be done through. So there are technologies can be used in warehousing to optimize your warehouse operations. I just put the summary here. So in each process, how do you properly use it? So those who are would like to know more, so we can definitely contact and explain how does that will take place. Okay. Now, it's a very important part going forward is how do the artificial intelligence and machine learning can improve your warehouse operations. So these are some of the selected applications. There are many. There are many ways the artificial intelligence and machine learning can be used to automate your processes and automate your decision-making processes in warehouse. So these are some selected models where you can deploy your artificial intelligence applications like dynamic slotting, the capacity planning. You have a workforce planning, you can do it properly. Performance management. So how do you manage your performance, either from the resource point of view, from the people point of view, from the overall performance management of your warehouse? That can be done through AI-enabled applications. In-warehouse travel. This is one of the key area. How do you restructure in-house travel in the warehousing? Okay. Automation of orchestrating robots and humans. How do you do that? Again, put away strategies and picking strategies. How do you bundle them? How do you keep multiple? How do you bundle the products and keep it in locations so that this can be picked very easily and very popularly picked? Now, before closing this, I would like to definitely talk about the performance indicator, the KPIs, the key performance indicators. Okay, there are two kinds of performance indicators. One is the warehouse management process performance, and then it's like a more or less like a operational KPIs. Okay, so performance KPIs here you see talk about receiving. You have different KPIs in receiving, cost of receiving per receiving line, volume received per man hour. So there are very important KPIs you need to set it up, and these should be as much as possible. You should be able to get them automatically. That is most important. So the KPIs, we don't do that. Okay, the performance KPIs usually we don't do that because we say that there is no data or there is no accurate data, whatever we call it. Or even if we do it once in a month or something like that. Okay. Operational KPIs usually people do it. It's like a total number of inbound receipts. Like it's like a operations, day-to-day operations. How do you make how many shipments you have made? Okay. So what is your headcounts? What is your payroll, number of active items? So this is operational KPIs usually people do. So this is the repository here. You can just have a look at it. So for warehouse management, performance management, okay. So you need to have both performance KPIs and operational KPIs. So this is one of the key takeaway for you for today's webinar. Okay. And finally, your warehouse management system should be so easy to operate that it should be modern, very easy to operate, and that comes only with the latest technology. I think I am done with the key part of presentation. If you have any questions, just put them into your chat. So we will take it up. If somebody wants to talk also, our coordinator Deep I can unmute you. You can always discuss. Yeah. So thank you, Deep. Thank you all for the call. Yeah, Deep.
Thank you, Mr. Khader. And so if you have any questions, so please, you can leave them in the chat box, and we are ready to take up any questions that you may have. Or if you want to discuss any points that you may have, you can just raise a hand through the reactions menu on the bottom of your screen, and we can have you unmuted.
Yeah, Ejaz Sheikh just to give a message that thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ejaz, for joining us. Thank you very much.
All right. All right, so I don't see any questions coming in. So I would like to close today's webinar. So thank you, everyone, and we appreciate your time for being here with us. And if you'd like to know more about us and our solutions, you can visit our website at datalabsindia.com, or you can reach out to us on any of the numbers mentioned on the website. So please be informed that you will receive an email within 24 to 48 hours with the link to view the recording of today's webinar. On behalf of Data Labs India and our presenter, thank you once again for joining us today, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.